Hey everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ethan. For those of you who do know me, I am still Ethan, I suppose. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about something that may or may not contradict one of my more previous videos, my more recent videos, not previous, one of my more recent videos, and that is to be open to change, to be open to changing your mind, to be open to changing your opinion, especially upon further research and investigation. I'm pretty sure I've kind of vaguely touched on this in the past, but just wanted to expand on it a bit more, I suppose, especially maybe even including a little bit more anecdotal evidence. Yeah, it's obviously, once again, one of those things that's easier said than done, but there are moments in everyone's life where they have to admit that perhaps their previous train of thought, their previous school of thought may have been inaccurate. And in those moments, you have to allow yourself to kind of acknowledge it, accept it, and adopt a new school of thought, or just maybe even alter your current school of thought a bit in order to be a little bit more accurate, I suppose. Because a lot of times sticking to, your conviction, as previously stated, is good, but I'm pretty sure I've also mentioned that there will be moments in which those convictions can be problematic, and it might be best to acknowledge and accept the fact that they are problematic and not really necessarily contributing to the betterment of yourself or the lives of others around you. And in those moments is when it becomes particularly imperative that you maybe reevaluate your school of thought and try to shift your focus towards one that's a little bit more productive or helpful, beneficial, less of a detriment, so on and so forth. And also not even just when you have problematic convictions, but maybe things that you stood on your ground on before that your opinion just kind of shifted on. I know one very large one for me that comes to mind, that definitely changed as I got older. It's one that my brother still likes to make fun of me for. There are people watching these videos that I wouldn't necessarily want to hear about that one, but to put it in the most pleasant terms, growing up, I was kind of a huge germaphobe, and I thought a lot of things were really, really gross. And so there were certain acts that people do for their partners, when you're in a relationship, certain acts that growing up I thought were gross and that I would never do. And then upon growing up, I discovered that they may actually have been things that I really do enjoy doing for my partner. We'll leave it at that. My brother likes to make fun of me a lot for it because he would always tell me, just wait. One day your mind is going to change. You'll see. One day you'll realize. You'll see. And I got there and he was right, as usual. You know, I'd like to, you know what? I'd like to take a second to give my brother credit. My older brother, probably the wisest man that I think I've ever had the pleasure of getting to know over the course of my life. And I'm very grateful for my brother. He's been there for me every step of my life, and honestly, if not for my brother, I probably would not still be here today. And that's not even me being dramatic. That's fairly accurate. As many of you know, if you have been watching my videos from the beginning, I've had some pretty dark times in my life, some pretty dark moments in which I have considered not being around anymore. And genuinely, my brother was probably always the main thing keeping me around. My brother has always been my biggest, supporter. He's always been my rock. I love my brother, and I'm very thankful for him. If he ever watches this, which I doubt, because even though I said he's my biggest supporter, I will not lie to you, I don't think he watches my YouTube videos. But if he ever does stumble upon this, I hope he knows that I cherish him very deeply. And in the next life, I hope he's still my brother in the next life. And anyone else out there who has siblings, I hope your siblings are even half as great and wise as my brother was for me. I do wish that for everybody, because everyone deserves to have someone in their life that is that much of a mentor, that much of an influence, but in a positive way, that does show you, that almost endless kind of sibling love and care, to the point where it becomes one that's unspoken. My brother and I don't particularly say I love you very much to each other, or at least we didn't for the majority of our lives. But it was one of those things that both of us just understood. So yeah, I'd like to give that quick little shout out to my brother. Sorry if that was kind of a tangent from the main point of this video, but I started speaking about my brother, and I guess I can't do so without acknowledging his role and influence in my life. A lot of the peace that I've been able to find in my life, I guess I can also say that I kind of owe to him. My brother has played a pretty significant role in my ability to find peace within myself. But yeah, I digress. I just pulled up to Chick-fil-A. I'm about to grab my breakfast. So with that being said, as always, if you feel the need to speak to me, if you want somebody to talk to, somebody to listen, feel free to reach out to me 24/7, 365 through any of the various social media links in the description below, because you are not alone. You're never alone. None of us are. It's only a matter of time before this little community that we have developing here becomes so massive that we diminish the feeling of loneliness in the world. If not completely, then at least significantly. That's kind of my hope. That's kind of my goal at this point, But again, if I only reach one person, I feel I still will have succeeded. With that being said, if no one told you today, you look great. You're doing great. I'm proud of you. And I love you. Take care. Keep going. You've got this. Yeah. That's about it. So until next time, Peace.